fudgy chocolate brownies are usually made with dark chocolate, but what if you want to make brownies with white chocolate? Well, they are called Blondies, and I'm going to show you how to make them. Now, you need some butter for this, and you need to cool it down. So what I've done is melted the butter in a 24 centimetre pan. I've placed it in here and then just allowed it to cool, and then just left a little bit in here to grease this pan. Now, this pan is great because it not only goes onto the hob, it also goes into the oven to bake this Blondie. So once this butter has cooled down, we're going to add some things to it. Lots of sugar, brown sugar for this. In it goes, along with some vanilla bean paste, a good teaspoon. Fantastic. And I'll crack 1 egg into this. So I always like to crack my egg into a bowl first, and then in it goes. Now just get this started by giving it a whisk. I also love this recipe because it's all done in one bowl. You don't have to give it a good blend or anything like that. It just all comes together. So once that mixture starts to become quite thick and pale, you'll notice that sugar dissolves into the butter. We can add our flour. So just some plain flour for this. We'll just add that. You don't even need to sift that. A pinch of salt. I really like to add salt to any type of baking, but this baking in particular, because we're adding ingredients like white chocolate and macadamia nuts, and to really bring out their flavour, adding salt is the key. So I'm going to take out the whisk, and I'll just use a spatula to fold everything together. So brownies are fudgy and thick, so this mixture is not going to be wet whatsoever. It's actually going to be quite dry. Give that a really good mix, and you'll see it's thick like that because it's going to be quite fudgy after it's been cooked. Now to add the ingredients to this, I'm using macadamia nuts. I love the flavour of macadamia nuts. Fantastic texture for a recipe like this. And I want to roughly chop them. I want big chunks in this, so don't make it too fine. Just run your knife through it 1 or 2 times. One last chop with this one, and then in they go. Sprinkle that in. And finally, the chocolate. So we're using some good quality white chocolate for this recipe. You want to cut it into chunks, and you want to go quite heavy on the chocolate so we really see those little bits of white throughout the whole Blondie. So once I've finished chopping this, I'm going to fold it through our Blondie mixture. It goes into our pan and then into the oven, about 180 degrees, and it's going to cook for 35 to 40 minutes or until it's cooked through. And the easiest way to check that is just to use a little knife, poke it through the centre. If it comes out clean, it's cooked. All right, this Blondie has cooked, it's cooled down, and now we can take it out of the pan. So you want to cool it down so you can do this. See how I can just turn it in this non-stick pan? That's going to make life a lot easier when it comes to slicing. So onto a plate, this is the easiest way to do it. Flip it over, and we'll remove the pan, and then straight onto a board. Ah. Perfect. Now, usually you would do this in a brownie tin, but why not change it up and make a round brownie like this Blondie? So a knife, sharp knife, and we're going to cut this into wedges. And this is what I love about a Blondie. See how crispy it is on the outside, and then inside it is so fudgy. Look at that, little speckles of macadamia nuts and the white chocolate. And you can cut it into small pieces, large pieces. I actually prefer smaller pieces for a Blondie because it's so rich in flavour. So I'll just cut little squares with a sharp knife. And these are delicious served slightly warm or completely cold. If you're serving it warm, what I highly recommend doing is serving it with some ice cream. So you can make this slice into a whole dessert. Whatever way you serve it, all you need to know is they are so delicious. Look at that. Fudgy, crispy, everything you want in a Blondie. So good.